Broadcasts of the City of Neenah Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin-Fox Valley. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents via the City website, www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues or about these broadcasts by contacting the mayor's office, contacting their city alderman, or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website, www.neenahgov.org. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.
I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Neenah City Council for Wednesday, December 18th, 2019. First item of business will be the roll call. Members will answer the clerk as your name is called and sign in on the roll call machine, please.
Alderman Boyette.
Here.
Bates.
Here.
Lang.
Here.
Lendrum.
Here.
Erickson.
Here.
Bellman.
Here.
Steele.
Here.
Coons.
Here.
And Stevenson.
Here. All members are present. There's a quorum present. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Alderman Coons.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which one nation, God, indivisible, liberty and justice.
All right. Well, welcome everyone for coming. Item number 2 is introduction and confirmation of some mayor's appointments. Item number A is Mayor Coffert's reappointment of Jim Vetter on the Park and Recreation Commission for a 3-year term that will expire December 2022. Is there a motion?
Move to approve the mayor's recommendation.
Second.
There's a motion by Alderman Bates, seconded by Alderman Lendrum to approve the appointment of Jim Vetter back onto the Park and Recreation Commission. Any discussion? Yep, they're here. We'll bring them up when they get sworn in, and at that time we'll allow them to say a few words if they would like. Jim can tell us how long he's been on the Park and Rec Commission. It's been a long time. All in favor of the appointment of Jim Vetter on, I'm sorry, that's unanimous consent. Is there any objection to the appointment of Jim Vetter to the Park and Rec Commission? Any objection? Seeing none? That's so ordered. Item number B, Mayor Coffert's appointment of Nikki Winicki to fill the unexpired term of Jan Sarnecki on the library board. This will be for a 3-year term that will expire May 2022. Is there a motion?
Move to approve. Second.
There's a motion by Alderman Lendrum, seconded by Alderman Lang. Any discussion?
It was seconded by me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I apologize. And I would just like to say, a thank you to Jan Sarnecki, because Jan was on the library board for many, many years also. We always send out an appreciation certificate to them all. I sign it, and then I look and see how many years they've been on and that. But Dan was on a long time, and he's moved out of the area, as I understand. So I appreciate his commitment to the community. Is there any objection to unanimous consent for the appointment of Nikki to the library board? Seeing none, that's so ordered. Mayor Coffert's reappointment of Josh Priestner and Kent Powley on the Sustainable Neenah Committee, both for 3-year terms. They'll expire December 2022. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the reappointment. Any discussion? Alderman Lang?
No, I'm just saying that
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
seen them come up yet.
Is there any objection to you? There you go.
Two.
And is there any objection to the reappointment? Otherwise, as unanimous consent? That's so ordered. Item D is Mayor Coffert's reappointment of Judy Zarevsky on the Park and Rec Commission. I apologize. Yep. I did take this one off just till the next meeting. Okay, well, I didn't do her, but I did Jim, so I didn't. So I would also like to reappoint at this time Judy Zaretsky. I have the initial council agenda. Reappointment of Judy Zaretsky on the Park and Recreation Commission for
So
a
moved.
3-year term. Is there a motion?
Yes, since I thought I approved her in the first one, so moved.
And I never
Second.
said it, so I apologize. There's a motion, and a second, to approve Judy Zaretsky on the Park and Rec Commission for a 3-year term. I would like to just mention that Judy has graciously, she's going to stay on until we find someone. So I'm in the process of looking for someone for Park and Rec. Judy's a longtime Alder person, long time on the Park and Rec Commission. She just feels it's time to give someone else the opportunity, and she'd like to do more things and take a break. So, done a wonderful job for us. So I told her I would appoint her, and then as soon as I found someone, and I'm talking to a couple people, if anyone else has anyone, please let me know. And then at that point, Judy will resign and we'll get someone else in there. Okay? So folks know. Any objection to the reappointment of Judy Zaretsky on the Park and Rec Commission? At unanimous consent, seeing no objection, that's so ordered. All right. We have two folks here who are going to get sworn in. So if you'd both come up to the microphone, please. Patty will come down there and swear you in each separately. In the meantime, maybe Nikki, why don't you come up, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about why you want to be on the library board.
Sure. My name is Nikki Winicky. I am a parent of 3 children in the Neenah School District, a 6th grader and a 3rd grader and a 1st grader. I was a teacher for 10 years and a reading specialist for 5 years of those 10, and now I'm a substitute teacher in the school district.
Well, welcome and thank you. Jim, you got anything you want to come on up?
I'm Jim Better. My wife Bonnie and I have been here about 35 years now. We have 4 kids, 7 grandkids. We have really enjoyed living in this community. I've been on the board for over 20 years. Before I moved here, I was in a small town in western Wisconsin where I was at one time village president on the school board and on the volunteer fire department. So I don't know if that makes me more qualified to do what I'm doing, but I appreciate the appointment. And the ability
We
to serve.
appreciate your service to the community, so thank you very much for your years of service, Jim.
We will swear you in both together if you'll both stand up by the mic. I, and state your name,
I, Jim,
Nikki Winicky.
Jim Better,
having been appointed to and state your appointment,
have been appointed to this Park and Rec Commission.
Have been appointed to the library board
of the City of Neenah,
of the city of Neenah,
Winnebago County,
Winnebago County.
do solemnly swear
Solemnly swear
to support the Constitution
to support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
Constitution
of the State of Wisconsin,
of the state of Wisconsin,
and faithfully discharge the duties
and faithfully discharge the duties
of a member of and state your committee
of
the
the
Park and Rec Commission.
library board
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you once again. We appreciate you taking the time and out of your lives, busy lives. So that's how easy it is too. So those folks who are watching at home, if you'd like to be appointed, if you're interested in something, go on our website, go look under appointments, and come on in and talk to the clerk and fill out your application and get it to me. And we'd love to have more citizen input on these committees. So, all right. Item number 3 is approval of the council proceedings of the December 4th, 2019 regular session, committee of the whole minutes of December 4th, 2019, and the Joint Committee of the Whole Park and Recreation Commission minutes of December 4th, 2019.
Move to approve. Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve these minutes. Is there any addition, corrections, comments, questions? There's been brought to our attention that on one of the days there's some typographical errors, and those are technical changes, and we're gonna fix those tomorrow. Anyone? Seeing no one? Is there any objection to unanimous consent? Seeing none, that's ordered. There are no public hearings tonight. There are no plan commission or public or other reports pertaining to the public hearings. Item number 6 is a public forum. Everyone is at the mall or downtown Neenah shopping tonight, so there is no one here to see us in the public forum because they're all busy getting ready for Santa. Item number 8 is the consent agenda. Is there a motion on the consent?
I move for approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
There's a motion by Alderman Stevenson, seconded by Alderman Lundrum, to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, is there any objection to unanimous consent to approve consent agenda? Seeing no objection, that's so ordered. The reports of standing committees, the regular Public Services and Safety Committee meeting of December 10th, 2019. Chairman Bates.
Thank you, Mayor. The minutes can be found on the city website. Committee recommends council approve purchase of 2 Energy Logic waste oil furnaces from Black Gold Environmental Services for $27,321 and an additional $2,500 for electrical work, and I would so move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there comments? Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion will vote aye. All opposed will vote no using the roll call machine. We have Alderman Boyette. No, you cannot leave.
I haven't. Want them to have the heat.
While we're waiting, I'll just tell the audience that this has to do with the city garage. When you pour off your waste oil at the city garage, it goes in a tube into the building. We collect up that along with some of the waste oil we use from changing oil on our vehicles. We burn this, and that's a partial heat source for the city garage. In addition to this, we're going to be putting in 2 large fans at the top to evenly distribute the heat through the building.
Thank you. We're having some technical difficulties. Alderman Boyette will be recorded as voting aye. So that brings the vote on this motion to 8-0.
9.
9-0. 9-0, I'm sorry. Votes 9-0 with Alderman Boyette voting aye.
Number 2, the committee recommends council approve negotiating a contract with Omni Associates for engineering and design services for the Jewelers Park Trail, including an hydraulics analysis, for a total not to exceed the amount of $61,300, and I would so move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Alderman Coons.
Thank you, Mayor. I looked at the minutes. I did not see a response. Mr. Kaiser, have we used Omni Associates? Are we familiar with them?
We've used them in the past. It's been a while. Well, I guess the most recent thing was a traffic study at the related to the Pendleton Park project, the CBJJ area. They performed that study.
But they do a lot of municipal contracts.
They do a lot
throughout
of
the
municipal work
valley.
in the area. Yes,
It is one where we talk about this being a relatively complex trail because of going over water and all those other kind of things. I just, well, I mean, I understand the idea of going with the lowest one, but it is also one where it sounded like, the way I've read it, and maybe I'm interpreting too much here, is that, hey, this is the lowest price, and as we're probably going to have all kinds of changes to this thing because it's complex, that it gives us more room to stay under budget, which makes me nervous.
That did play a role in my recommendation. I wouldn't have even provided the RFP to them if I didn't think they were qualified to do the work.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks.
Thank you for your questions. Anyone else? Being none, all in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no, using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 9-0.
And reporting out from an item that was brought up at the November 26th meeting and then referred back to this, the December 18th meeting tonight, committee recommends council deny the beverage operator license, which was a new one for Brianna R. Rich. And it was reported out, to be reported out tonight, and I would so move to deny.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to deny the license application, the beverage operator license application. Any discussion? Alderman Coons.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to try to sneak this in, and hopefully Jim doesn't yell at me. It has more to do with the process than anything, in that, and I've looked at the minutes of different meetings in public service safety and how they handle different things, and I'm still one that I don't know why we just don't say, hey, we're going to do a background check. Don't even tell us the information. Just so you know, we've been doing a background check. If you're not going to meet certain things, you might want to, not fill out the application. But instead we're trying to always ask them, and then so we can catch them if they've not filled it in properly. And then we try to figure out if they just forgot about it or if they really meant to did not tell us. And it just adds a whole complexity in which we're adding this whole other denial, double denial, secret denial kind of thing. And I'm just like, we should just make it simpler. Here, just fill out the form you want it. We're going to do a background check and done. They don't have to fill anything in. They don't have to try to figure out if this, when I got pulled over for speeding, if that's should be on here or not. But clearly, the statutes state if you have a certain charge, drug related or whatever else, then you will be denied. We state that, and we just move on and make it simple. That's just my theory. Sorry, Jim, I probably stepped a little bit over on that one, but it gets to the complexity of this and then having to deal with these kinds of things.
Attorney Godlewski?
We are following the change in the process in terms of giving more time for the clerk's office to contact people and get that corrected. So the clerk's office is also in the process of amending, suggesting some amendments to the application process that may improve the situation down the road as well.
And just, and again, I could probably find better things for our clerks to do than to help people try to fill out forms for the license for which they seek. Again, it's just it speaks to the issue that this is. It throws in a wrinkle that requires us to then spend hours trying to track people down and get them to fill out it correctly when they didn't need to fill it out at all in the first place. So.
And that's part of the reason why we're looking at revising the application.
Alderman Stern, you have...
I'm an alderman now. Okay. This was probably the last one that is left with the process that we came up with, but we are going to address the application as well. But we do have a new process now. This is one that was left behind and should be the last one with issues. We have a pretty good process in place for that, and like Jim said, we will be addressing the application as well.
So that'll be coming up. I will say this, part of the reason we do it, I think, is to try and kind of see the truthfulness of the applicant, too, to make sure that they're not trying to hide things and things like that they're truthful. And I think it probably helps the business owner, too, determine what that person has been involved in or not, too. So there is some credence to putting the onus on them to be truthful, so that in addition to not only the city knowing that they're getting someone who's trustworthy, but the bar owner too. So, for the grocery store. Alderman Bates?
Thank you, Mayor. Just to let you know that the deputy state clerk had tried contacting the applicant 3 more times, 2 more voicemails, another letter, and so nothing has come back from the person. What I wanted to say is we ask a lot of questions from them, like if you have outstanding bills, and we all know that how often we have to check up on outstanding bills because, A, people don't know, and we ought to tell them. And this is another case of if you don't know that that was a parking ticket you should have paid, at least they'll get fined and they'll be able to pay it off.
Anyone else? Okay, there's a motion and a second. The motion is to deny, so an aye vote is to deny. All in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. Using the machine, please. That motion also passes 9-0.
And that concludes my report.
Then we move on to the regular Finance and Personnel Committee meeting of December 9th, 2019. Chairman Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. Reporting out from the Finance and Personnel Committee meeting of December 9th. Item number 1, the committee recommends council approve the 2020 intermunicipal agreement with the City of Appleton for dial-a-ride cost sharing. And I so move.
Second.
There's a motion by Alderman Erickson, seconded by Alderman Stevenson. Excuse me. This will approve the 2020 intermunicipal agreement with the City of Appleton for dial-a-ride cost sharing. Is there any comments? Questions? Seeing none, all in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no, using the roll call machine. That motion passes 9-0.
Item number 2, the committee recommends council approve the first addition to the Integrity Acres Development Agreement to be acted on after report from the Board of Public Works. Item number 3, there is a change to this item. The committee recommends council authorize staff to prepare and execute a development agreement with Jeffrey Kaiser or a corporate entity controlled by Dr. Kiesler, or Jeffrey Kiesler, or a corporate entity controlled by Dr. Kiesler. That is the change with the noted terms, providing TID number 7 assistance for the redevelopment of 997 South Green Bay Road. And this will be acted on from a report from the Board of Public Works. Item number 4, the committee recommends council approve refunds to Aldi Inc. of $1,118.38 and $39.61 for Miller Securities resulting from palatable errors found and corrected by the assessor. And I so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Erickson.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Stevenson. Questions or comments? Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no, using the roll call machine. That motion passes 9-0.
And that concludes my report.
Just a point, or Mayor, if I could.
Sure.
On item number 3, I just want to make clear, there's a recommendation by committee. There might have been a request for a change from somebody from wording, but that's not, doesn't change recommendation from council, from the committee.
No, but it is just to alert the council that that's coming up.
And then these two items, both the community development was very involved in these two issues. I was somewhat negligent at the beginning of the meeting to point out, joining us tonight, we do have the Deputy Community Development Director, Brad Schmidt, tonight, in place of Chris. Welcome, Brad. Sorry about that. So we move on to item number 10. Item number 10 is item A is the report of the regular Plan Commission meeting. There's no meeting for December 10th, right, Representative Legg?
There was a meeting, but there is no report for
Right.
that. It was under the consent agenda.
And then we go on to item number B, which is the Board of Public Works meeting of December 10th, 2019. Vice Chairman Bates.
Thank you, Mayor. The board recommends council approve the development agreement for the first addition to Integrity Acres subdivision as presented, and I would so move.
There's a motion by Alderman
Second.
Bates, seconded by
Second.
Alderman Erickson. This will approve the development agreement for that first addition to Integrity Acres subdivision. Any discussion or comment? A lot of work put into this, and we're excited. How many lots is this again, Brad? 32?
27.
27. 27 new lots just west of Wooden Shoe. With more to come. All right, seeing no discussion, all in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 9-0.
The board recommends council authorize staff to prepare and execute a development agreement with Jeffrey Kiesler, and the additional wording that was added, or a corporate entity controlled by Dr. Kiesler, with the noted terms, providing TIDS number 7 assistance for the redevelopment of 997 South Green Bay Road.
997. Or 977.
Jim, you want to correct that on yours? It's 977, and this one says 997.
Oops. Yeah.
There's 9 set.
And I would so move. Is it 9?
We will determine what is the correct address and administrative.
It's the Burger King.
The old Burger King.
Commonly known as the Burger.
The Burger King.
Someone Google it.
Second.
It's actually become euphemistically known as Burger King to braces.
It's
All right, there's a motion by Alderman Bates. Is there a second?
977.
Second.
There's a second by Alderman Lundrum.
7. I didn't.
This is, I'll open it up for discussion. Alderman Steele.
That was an accident. Right.
Okay. So this is a development agreement for the old Burger King. Just so
Jane just Googled it. It's 977.
Okay, so that people know at home, and the plan is to have a brand new building. So that building will no longer be there, and that's a good plus for the city. Any Alderman Bates?
Thank you, Mayor. So the additional words of corporate entity controlled by Dr. Kiesler, does that change much when it comes to having a development agreement with someone?
No, he's asked to have it owned by his limited liability corporation that owns his current building. It's not untypical for that to be an arrangement because of the liability that personally the family wouldn't want to be subject to that liability of the corporation. So it's not unusual.
And I did have an additional question, I believe, at the meeting, finding out if he were to sell this building before the payments are all paid out, does the next owner get it? And if so, that didn't seem, because then he could perhaps take the whole, raise his price because someone else is getting money from it.
No, the subsidy is directly to the developer itself, and it's not assignable.
Okay, not assignable. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other questions? Comments? Seeing none, there's a motion by Alderman Bates, seconded by Alderman Lundrum. All in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 9-0.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number C, Community Development Authority. Is there any report from the CDA?
No report.
Okay, thank you. The Library Board report, Alderperson Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Neenah Public Library Board met today at 4 o'clock, and I would like to mention that there are a number of great programs planned at the Neenah Public Library. Programming this past year has been up a lot, and I think a lot of people will look forward to attending programs at the library. All of the programming can be found on the Neenah Public Library website, and if you stop at the library, they also have material that you could pick up with a program in it as well. So when you have a chance, visit the library and check out some books, and that concludes my report.
you very much for your report, the library board. You also have the Neenah Arts Council report, Alderperson Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Neenah Arts Council Celebrate the Season event was Saturday, December 7th. It was a successful event, and I'd like to thank the various organizations that participated, and I would like to especially thank the Neenah Menasha Fire Department for having the Santa float across from City Hall, and our own Attorney Godlewski for participating as well.
We won't say how.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't want to say that.
It was a very, very nice event.
And just as an FYI, Wednesday, January 8th, Neenah Arts Council will meet at the new Create Lab on South Commercial Street at 4 o'clock. So if you're interested in finding out about the Neenah Arts Council and want to check out the Create Lab, that will be a good time to do it.
There are no petitions. Anyone, council directives, anybody? Seeing none. Any unfinished business? Unfinished business, we'll move on to item number 14, which is new business. Under new business, Mayor Crawford's nominations to the City of Neenah 2020-2021 Elections Board. Those are attached to your agenda, and these come from Clerk Stern. If anyone has any questions, we can direct them to her. Is there a motion to approve this list to the election?
I make a motion to approve the City of Neenah 2020 to 2021 elections.
Alderman Stevenson moves. Seconded by
I'll second that.
Erickson. Alderman Bates.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to point out that Margaret Bates is listed twice, and one of them has her address, and the other one says "See Police." So I'm a little concerned.
There are a number of people listed twice.
See Police?
No, yeah. Well, there's some. Carrie Lenjum's on there twice.
Do we have to see the police?
No, you got to see somebody else. You have to see Roosevelt.
See Roosevelt. Oh.
You have to see Roosevelt.
Okay, well, we'll clear that
And
up
I
with
will tell
Patty.
you why that is.
Okay.
In our Excel spreadsheet, you are listed as the chief inspector at your polling place you work at, but you belong at a different
Right.
polling place. So
Right.
Vote.
So for instance, Marge, when at police, yours says you're at Peace Lutheran, yours says see police to get all the details about you. And the same with Carrie.
Voting
Hers says
information.
see Whiting because she votes at Whiting and she belongs at Whiting. There should not be duplicates. I will check over it, and then
It says see police.
delete the duplicates. So other than that, there should not be duplicates.
Well, Mary Jill Genesee listed twice with the same address. Margaret Eckrick is on there twice with two different addresses.
First one.
Mary Jill,
Peter Janine.
yeah, geez, I always have trouble.
Stephanie did this last week when I was on vacation, and I apologize. I didn't check it over. I should have probably. We will look through it. There should not be any duplicates. If there are, we will take them off. This is required by state statutes. Every 2 years, we send each of the parties the list we have. Majority of my poll workers don't care to list a party. They go unaffiliated. This year, both parties requested a list of both parties and the unaffiliated workers, which they are allowed to do. And so we had a little bit different scenario this year with this. We've never had them return lists before. This is the first year they've returned a list to us. So it's their list combined with the people we had on our list.
Right. So the clerk's office will clean up the duplicates after. Alderman Bates, do you have something else?
No, I was just explaining to Alderman Boyette here that when you have a Democrat nomination and a Republican nomination, when someone has listed that that's their party, it generally goes with when we are signing our lists for the ballots and kind of a who's there, who's taking care of things. When you have someone listed on one party, you usually have to balance it off with somebody from the other party. And oftentimes when you're unaffiliated, you don't have to worry about that as much because you could just sign it straight on and not worry about balancing. Because sometimes we only have 5 people working at a poll, and you might not have one person from another party. So,
Anyone else? There is a motion and a second to approve this list. All in favor of that, vote aye. All opposed, vote no, using the roll call machine, please.
Oops.
Everyone voted. That motion passes 9-0. Then we have some information items. Mayor Coffert's appointment to fill the alderperson representative position on the redistricting committee. Current Alderman Bates, who has resigned, and this will be considered at the January 15th, 2020 council meeting. Alderman Spellman has expressed interest in this, and I believe the county representative on the county board. Is that correct?
If I'm correct, did you not want to be on the central count or the complete count committee, not the redistricting?
Not this district. The central. I'm getting them confused. So they has to be put on a different one. So there will be an opening for this position. Quite frankly, I'm not yet up what this one does. We did get an update from the census person in this area, came and visited us about the census that's coming up. So soon there'll be a lot more information about the census, and it's very, very important that we take a active role in getting the folks counted in the city of Neenah. So that'll be coming forward. So this is a little different, though. I apologize. Alderman Bates?
thank you, Mayor. Just to give a brief explanation is when you're on the redistricting, you are educated in how to evaluate blocks and building blocks, and then how you put them together. Like certain things, like if there's a natural division in a city, like a river or something, you split things up that way. And with ours, the county seems to get the information before we do, and they build their smaller districts before we get ours. So we're kind of limited to that, but you get some really interesting information on how the building blocks are built.
Okay, and I just wanted to make a comment. This does not happen until after the census is done. They'll get all the information by April of the census year, I think she told us. And then the following year, we'll redistrict, like Marge said, after the state and the congressional districts, counties, all have theirs done, then we get a shot at it. And our goal at the redistricting is to go back to our original 24 wards. So we've added wards 25, 6, 7, and 8 through annexation since the last redistricting. Now we will go back to 24 wards again, and we try and even out the wards in population. There's kind of a neat program that they provide us with that you just drag the ward line down, and it tells you how many people you just added to that ward or took away. So it's kind of interesting to see how that all works. But it will not happen until 2021.
So it's going to be a while. If someone's interested in that position, let me know, because I have to appoint someone, okay? And then, like I said, Alderman Spellman has expressed interest in the other one.
And I want to say it's not that I don't want to do it, but I want to give somebody else a chance. So if nobody else really wants to do it.
All right. Well, thank you. Item number C is Mayor Crawford's appointment to fill the expired term of Gail Dolan, Robert Wedge, and John Rather, who's the second alternate on the Board of Appeals for a 3-year term to expire January 2023. That'll be considered at the next meeting. And we'll talk about that. It says January 15th, and I'm going to bring up something to the council under new business with regards to the date of the meeting. And so I will contact those folks and see if they're interested, and that will be, those positions will be filled then also. So then we brings us to any announcements, questions that may legally come before the council. I have quite a few items. I do want to bring up, first of all, you all got my short memo that said we canceled the 6 p.m. meeting tonight because of scheduling conflicts. So now, with Christmas and New Year's falling on a Wednesday, we are not going to have the finance meeting the first second week of January. Or, yes, we will. I'm sorry. So we won't have the council meeting the first week. So there's been a suggestion, and it works good for scheduling Brad from Baird, and Chris is here, and Mike is here. Everyone's here on the 22nd of January. So we will not meet the first week of January, because January 1st would be our normal meeting date, and that's January 1st. So we will not meet that week. There will be no reason to meet because the committees are not meeting between Christmas and New Year's. So there's been a suggestion to have the committee meetings like we normally do, and from a scheduling purpose, January 22nd works, and I'm going to ask if that works for all of you, because it works for Mike, Chris, and Brad, the three players who I'd like to have here when we discuss the TIF.
Does that mean we're not going to meet on the 15th?
Right. We would not meet on the 15th. We would just meet once in January as a council meeting on the 22nd. Correct, Mike? Have this all right?
I'm assuming there's a scheduling problem with someone 15?
Yes.
With two of those three.
Two of the three. So we're asking you, before we do this, does anyone have a problem with the 22nd instead of the 15th?
Question.
March?
So usually we would have that week off, is what you're saying, because it's a 5-week January?
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
A 5-week January. Yep.
Are we going to change any other committee dates then and meet the week prior to that then? Still going to have our meetings on the 6th and 7th.
6th and 7th.
Or
And
our
then,
off week then becomes the week prior.
But we would plan, Mr. Mayor, would plan to prepare for both a finance meeting prior to council the night of the 22nd and the presentation by Brad Vagut from Baird on the update of the TIF, all of the TIF reports that have been done and are updated every other year. That report is now complete, and we're just looking for the time where Brad can come and
So that will be
provide that report.
That will be the hour meeting scheduled I have tonight.
Right.
So that would be at 6. Okay with everyone? Does it work? Okay. Thank you. I do want to say, tell people that, because people invariably, it's on social media, next week with Christmas on Wednesday, as I understand it, and I said this on WHBY on Monday, if your garbage is on Monday, you're picked up on Monday. If your garbage is on Tuesday, you're picked up on Tuesday. If your garbage is on Wednesday, it's a day later. If it's Thursday, it's a day later. And if it's Friday, it's a day later. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are a day behind next week. So get an opportunity to tell people, because I know people kind of freak out. And it's a big load after Christmas. Garbage cans are a lot fuller. So those will be 3 busy days. But it's a day late. They'll be calling and they'll be asking, saying, when's my garbage picked up this week? So just a day later, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. I know I'm going to leave Alderman Stevenson to. We had a very successful Santa float. I do want to say thank you to all the firefighters and Bruce Levenhagen, the Levenhagen family, who each and every year take care of that. So that is very very nice. There will be. I'm monitoring the weather, working with the police department and that to try and determine if there will be no snow around Christmas. I will lift the overnight parking ban, because so many families bring in people and people come and visit and that, and driveways aren't big enough, so they want to park on the street. So providing there's no big major snowstorm, I'll be lifting the parking ban during that time frame, and we'll announce that. It'll be on social media. It'll be as an email to you folks and everything. It'll be on our website about when that will happen. So I'm working with them on that. So that's what I have right now. I would take any other announcement anyone else has. Todd?
Yeah, I was just going to have a shout out to the firefighters in Local 275 for all the work they did to celebrate the holiday season with all those residents in Neenah, Menasha that were able to share with it. It was great fun participating with it. Thank you to Bruce Levenhagen and the Levenhagen family and Levenhagen Oil for their contribution again of fuel for both the Santa float and the lead vehicle.
I think a couple of our aldermen got to ride along that, so they found it very fun and interesting. So, and I'll tell you, you go on the website and you see the number of hits it gets on the website. Just amazing how many people are following it, how many people are going to it to see when it comes. It's almost become a victim of its own success because now I'm getting people. It's gotten so big, so large. They have different routes. I think they alternate some streets each and every year, and so some folks don't get it, because of the way they have to traverse the city. And so then they call and say, how come it's not coming down my street? But it will next year. So it's really become quite a successful thing. So a lot of fun. They do have a fundraiser I know going on. They would like to build or buy a new trailer to house all the equipment on it. And so if folks who are listening would like to contribute to that fund, I think if you go on the firefighters website, you'll see that, and it'd be appreciated. So with that, anyone else? Go ahead, Alderman.
Did you try the GPS app? It worked so great. You didn't have to stand outside in the cold. You could see Santa right in coming down the street. It was awesome. So I love that
I've
app.
heard that. It was a lot more fun, though, grabbing your kid
I know.
out of the high chair, pulling him out with no coat on, and running out the door.
There was a lot more of that this year. Oh, yeah. People were utilizing the app, and they were literally, because the app was so real time.
Yep.
People thought it was delayed a little bit, so they had a little bit of time. Santa float's going by, and the moms are grabbing kids. One lady ran through the neighbor's snowplow, grabbed the kid. She was in shorts, and the kid was in shorts, and so Santa had to tell Rudolph to slow down a little bit. So
it was a very popular Santa that night, from what I hear.
It's a great app.
So that is, it is.
Rudolph made a number.
Very, very fun. And, if you talk to the firefighters, this is on their own time. They volunteer, and almost all of them participate, and it's quite an undertaking. I think they need a minimum of 4 per night, and so it's a big deal. So with that, I would say I'd like to, for the folks at home and our residents and the folks that live in this community, I would just like to wish each and every one a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope you get time to spend time with family. Hope that, to thank you very much to the council for everything that you've done this year and the time and effort that you've put in to try and make this community better. A lot of, people don't realize how much time you've spent on this part-time job. So thank you very much. I hope you all get to spend time with your family this holiday season. And if you are traveling, please travel safe. And we hope, you make it safely to your destination and have fun and enjoy the Christmas holiday. So Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
Move to adjourn. Second.
There's a motion and a second for adjournment. And Dan, thank you all for all you do during the year. We appreciate everything that you do.
Yeah, well done, Dan.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
For the year.
Broadcasts of the City of Neenah Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin, Fox Valley. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents via the City website. www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues or about these broadcasts by contacting the mayor's office, contacting their city alderman, or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website, www.neenahgov.org. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.